The footballing world was rocked last week as the Premier League made an announcement that no one saw coming. Manchester City were charged with breaking financial fair play rules over 100 times between 2009 and 2018, a period in which they won 3 Premier League titles. As a result, they will have those titles stripped, be banned from Europe and relegated to the National League North. Or will they? In the wake of the announcement, we're asking what the future holds for Manchester City on Football Reality. On the 6th of February, the Premier League sent fans and the media into overdrive as they released a statement with the news that Manchester City were in breach of numerous league rules relating to how clubs are meant to operate their finances. They had broken many of those rules multiple times over nearly a decade, with the earliest occurring during Sheikh Mansour's first year as club owner. In the statement, the Premier League said City had broken rules like B13, C78 and E51. But what exactly do they mean? Before we answer that, full disclosure, these are all allegations which Manchester City deny committing. Legal nonsense out the way, simply put, the Premier League believes Man City have been cooking the books and cheating their way around financial fair play regulations. Brought in by various leagues and governing bodies over the last decade or so, the idea behind financial fair play, or FFP, is to prevent clubs from bankrupting themselves and to keep the richest clubs from becoming too powerful. FFP doesn't mean wage caps and transfer budget limits like we see in some other sports, but instead the idea is that clubs can only spend within the amount that they earn. The richest clubs earning the most money can still spend the most, but no club can keep spending and spending their way to either both a league title and enormous debts. Clubs can trick the system by falsely inflating the amount they're earning, while hiding how much they're spending. In even more straightforward terms, not providing honest financial information. This is what the Premier League are claiming Man City did on over 100 separate occasions between 2009 and 2018. But that doesn't mean City have had a squeaky clean reputation since 2018. That is just the point at which the Premier League investigation ended. Well, hang on a minute. Haven't we been down this road with the Citizens before? Weren't they cleared of breaking FFP laws during the pandemic, when they had a whole squad of lawyers turn up at the Court of Arbitration for Sport, looking like something out of Reservoir Dogs? They had a fine reduced and appealed successfully against a 2-year European ban. That is right, but those were charges brought upon them by UEFA, who have separate FFP laws to the Premier League. This is a whole fresh set of charges that Manchester City are facing. What's more, UEFA's hands were tied by limits on the time frame and the sources they could use to gather evidence and put their case against City. The Premier League has no such limits. Some of the charges being rumoured refer to City apparently using their sponsors and commercial partners to help hide their true financial situation. Many of the companies City entered into agreements with were based in Abu Dhabi, such as their stadium and shirt sponsor Etihad Airways, who broke the world record for a stadium naming rights agreement in 2011 for £400 million. It is alleged that companies like Etihad, which are either controlled by Sheikh Mansour, the UAE Public Wealth Fund, or by those with close ties to Mansour and the rest of the Emirati royal family, are used as a front to mask the true amounts of money coming in and out of City. Such organisations have allegedly been used by City to hide the true amount they're paying their staff. Rumours have been circling that former manager Roberto Mancini was earning double the salary City claimed he earned, with half the Italians' earnings coming through a supposed consultancy job with an Emirati football club. There is nothing to suggest right now that other managers and staff haven't entered similar agreements with Man City, which naturally shone the spotlight on Pep Guardiola. Pep had previously stated that if there was anything untoward with his contract, he would leave the club immediately, but after the Premier League announcement, he's remained adamant that he is in the clear. So if City are found guilty of 1, 2 or all of these charges, what happens? Well, right now, no one really knows. What is clear is that the Premier League seemingly have the freedom to dish out as tough or lenient punishment as they desire, and no precedent exists in English football for such rule breaking. If they are at fault, they could get no more than a slap on the wrist, they could get a fine, they could receive a transfer ban. At the more extreme end, they could be stripped of their Premier League titles, receive points deductions, cancel the registration of players, or even be expelled from the Premier League altogether. Essentially relegated. They could be forced to play in the Championship, but that's if the EFL allows them to join. They could even be forced to drop lower down the pyramid. So Manchester City could be a non-league club next season then? Well, no. Even if City were handed the hardest of punishments, they probably won't receive them for a few years yet. This investigation has been going on for 4 years already, and now Manchester City, led by top lawyer Lord Panic at the Disco, just Lord Panic, have already begun what will surely be a huge and lengthy legal challenge. That being said, the possibility of some punishment in the shorter term being handed out cannot be totally ruled out. It is worth pointing out, if they are found not guilty, then this does seem to make a mockery of FFP. That is, if you assume the Premier League were not wrong with all the 100+ charges that have been made against Manchester City. If City do walk free, then what is to stop them and other clubs from continually breaking rules in the future? What does it mean for the future of football? Serie A weren't shy when punishing Juventus last month for inflating their transfer fees, handing out a points deduction that put them mid-table. Whether the Premier League will be just as tough remains to be seen. Guilty or not, this process has certainly done damage to City's reputation. Since catapulting their way to become the richest club in the world, Manchester City have never been popular among proper football fans. Yet many have just accepted the oil-rich nations buying football clubs, the best players, and the success that inevitably follows as something that's here to stay. This news, however, has received the kind of backlash and disgust from fans that we saw 2 years ago in the wake of the European Super League announcement. Fans of rival clubs were quick to say that Man City should have asterisks next to their title wins, if not lose them altogether, as well as being kicked out of the league and an end to Sheikh Mansour's tenure as owner. Also, such allegations will make them less of an attractive prospect to any potential new signings and staff, or at least ones who don't want to risk having their achievements taken away from them. Rival clubs, meanwhile, were welcoming of the Premier League statement and want the citizens to be relegated if found guilty, with stripping of previous titles largely seen as irrelevant. It is possible, however, that some of them may be quaking in their boots, with plenty of speculation that Manchester City are not the only Premier League club to have broken FFP rules. The only official charges are against Man City for now, but the chances of other clubs landing in hot water is not impossible. And what have the City players made of all this? Unsurprisingly, they've remained fairly quiet, yet the rumour mill just hasn't stopped turning. The reports have alleged that Erling Haaland wants out of the club after just one season, either because of the FFP news or because he has a strained relationship with Guardiola. There has been further murmurings of discontent at the Etihad. João Cancelo left the club in January, apparently after falling out with Pep, while Ilkay Gundogan, Kyle Walker, Bernardo Silva and Aymeric Laporte have all been named among those who want out. Oh dear. Stars wanting out and any number of punishments on the horizon? Is this the beginning of the end of Manchester City as we know it? Now it's time for your say. Do you think Manchester City are guilty? If so, what exactly should be their punishment? Should we have tighter rules around FFP and the way football clubs are run? Put your thoughts in the comments below, and if you learned something about the City situation, make sure you like this video and subscribe to Football Reality.